Hello and welcome to the show. We are back at the Proving Grounds circuit on BeamNG Drive with 3 more vehicles being driven till destruction. Now we start with the Celica. I think I'm pronouncing this one correctly. It's basically a classic Toyota Celica, only this is not a normal version as you can tell by the looks of it. This is a drag car, a gasser style vehicle. So we have very grippy tyres at the back, we have not much grip at the front, not much steering, huge amounts of power. Probably not the best vehicle for a destruction circuit, shall we say, but I mean, the standard car wasn't very good at all. The drive shaft snapped on the first lap. We're hoping that this might be able to do a little bit better. Well, my theory being is that perhaps with this being a much more powerful sort of spec of car, maybe it's got a much stronger drive shaft. That's what I'm hoping for. We are going to have issues, of course. It doesn't really steer very well. It's not designed to. It's supposed to go very fast in a straight line. I am also a little bit concerned with... So these rear tyres are insanely grippy. And I've seen from previous drag cars, they can kind of... If the car gets airborne and starts bouncing around, it can kind of grip up weirdly and snap wheels off. Or just generally throw the car about in awkward manners. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful. I say you have to be a little bit careful. I got to be aware of that. Now, I have to drive the cars as fast as I can. This thing has so much power. I can't be flat out for a lot of the course, especially because when I do go to full throttle, it lifts the front end up, and we do a wheelie, and then I don't have any steering to avoid obstacles. So I've got to be a little careful, and I can't be flat out down here because it will go very quick and clear the fence. So we're going to have to lift off a little bit over here. There we go, quite nicely flying through the air. Oh, okay, not so nice on the landing, it got chucked about, but the important thing is the drive shaft is still in one... No, don't say that actually, across these next bumps. Be careful before you celebrate the drive shaft still being alive, because, well, the gods of Beam can be cruel. Ooh, okay, and don't put too much power down going across the dirt section. It's not really going to like it very much. We'll ping the door out. I mean... Have we got suspension? It's very difficult to say we've got suspension damage, or... I mean, the wheels naturally stick out, so that's not something that's weird. We haven't got the axle, like, floating around that we've had from a couple of vehicles. Oh, okay. Got to be really careful with these bumps. And, God, I really don't want to snap the drive shaft particularly, and I don't want to spin the car either. That's the other concern. I'm worried about landing awkwardly on these wheels, what it's going to do to the... Try and get the nose up a little bit. We've got a wobbly back of the car. Crazy. It's just, it can't put any power down on the dirt, which is to be expected. Can't make turn one. Something looks quite broken at the rear of the car now. Oh, that's not good. Am I actually stuck on that? Okay, we are off. The rear axle, rear left wheel doesn't look happy. So we've got a puncture one side. We've got issues, I think, on suspension. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good at all. We've definitely got suspension issues going on. Oh, the axle's actually falling off the car. That's what's causing the tyres to get snagged on stuff. Oh, we're not going to make it across the checkerboard. We might actually make it across the water. I mean, this has got so much... I could probably just tear the axle out if I actually went full throttle with this car now. Oh, what did that hit? Something bad. Things are not looking good for my car here. Oh, do I have enough? Oh god, I've just about got enough steering. It's basically scraping on the floor here. It's going to get beached on the checkerboard. Now, we can spin the wheels up and we can keep the car... Oh, no, it's actually hitting... Like, there's invisible hitboxes going on around the front of the car that's hitting on something, because I wasn't touching anything through there. Now, the vehicle's still got the steering and capabilities, as long as it keeps 2 wheels on the circuit. There's something invisible is catching on the floor. So I'm allowed to grab reverse to get it unbeached. That's really annoying. There's something that we can't see on the car. Okay. We are... It's not going to survive the landing. It's not going to survive shafted, I don't think. I've got a full throttle without it tearing itself to pieces. It doesn't really turn very well. We might have issues with the spinners here. This has been a spectacular run for the car. I mean, it's still clearing minimum speed, just. Well, there's the exhaust. Least of my concerns, to be honest with you. The arse of the car is basically dragging on the floor. It's like a dog with worms at the moment. Can we get through this bit? We do have the steering still to get through there. and we can unleash some of the power out the other side. The steering's very poorly. Going over here. Oh, just going to go first. That'll work. Come on. I presume it's a V8 in this. Sounds like it is. Naturally aspirated, incredibly powerful V8. Right, here we go. Shafted jump. Can we survive this? I mean, I think it's going to be dubious that the car's going to make it. I'm struggling to actually get speed out of the vehicle. Oh, it doesn't handle very well anymore. Second gear is going to have to work. It's completely wrecked, this car, but it's still moving, and it's still moving at an acceptable speed here. Come on. Front left doesn't look happy. None of the wheels look particularly happy. They've either got punches or... Well, they've got punches not connected and no suspension. Or not connected properly and no suspension. That's not good for anything. Oh. Come on. Come on. Get some drive. This is struggling with drive as well in a weird sort of a way. I mean, that's probably something to do with how busted it is. It's very, very poorly. I'm worried about the speed bumps after turn 1, actually. That could do some serious damage. I mean, I'm worried about the speed bumps, I'm worried about it flying into the water, basically. Oh. It's just, it hits the... I mean, I think it's basically skating along. I don't know why the steering's so bad. I think it's just scraping along the floor. I mean, it's keeping the drive shaft protected somehow, which does surprise me. Uh-oh. Okay, we're still good. No, we're not good. Oh, I thought we were going into the gantry. We've had issues on that before. If a car gets crashed and, well, launched towards that, we've got to get across these speed bumps here. Come on. Oh, that has done some bad things to the car. We lost the front left wheel. I think we have. We still have one wheel that is steering, but it's only just about steering at the moment. I think the front bumper might be stuck under the front of the car as well, but I can't really do much about it. Oh no, the front left is... Front left has some steering, it's not much. I might actually rip the fuel tank out if it keeps going like this. Whatever is stuck under the car, I can't pull it out. I could use the node grabber, but I think I'll just end up doing more damage, more harm than good. Oh, it just got on the water and insta-aquaplane forward. I think we might actually be beached. Oh, that didn't seem like a good thing. No, it's still going. Come on. Come on, car. Now we know whatever's on whatever we can't... it's the front, it's that corner of the chassis that's just getting beached on there. I might have actually lost steering. It might have lost any sort of steering from that front side. Can I... it's so damaged now. I think we've lost too much steering. I think we can only spin in a circle now. Come on, car. It's very difficult to tell. It might have enough steering to... Oh, it's still just about on the course. Okay, that side of the car is slightly healthier. It's not getting through... Oh, have we got... I think we have now lost. Yeah, that's the... front wheels are just wiggling. Can I get anything more from it? I don't even know if I can get it to turn that way. I mean, we are reversing. It's not so much the steering that's giving me the grief here as it's the chassis. The engine, amazing the engine's not broken across one of these. Because it looks like it probably should be. I think that car is dead with steering failure, if I'm honest. It might... Oh, no. We have got it free. It's tearing itself apart some more. Now, I'm generally a bit more lenient to cars getting beached on these things, especially if they are able to clear themselves over here. How is that rear axle still on the car? How is the engine not blowing up actually doing this? That's normally what happens. I mean, the car has still got some life in it. Come on. Alright, now we have allowed cars to be dragged over if they are complete... Oh. Okay, I think it's actually crash welded into a... Okay. I think it's dead. It's crash welded itself into one of the concrete blocks. That is a hell of a spectacular failure from the car. Yeah, okay, it's actually... Oh! It has uncrash welded itself. Radiator has blown in trying to... I think it's done. I think it's safe to say that is the end of that car. That was a hell of a run. The Gasser put up an impressive fight, much better than the normal version of the vehicle as well. One of the most spectacular failures I think we've seen ever possibly around this circuit. Up next, we have got the B Series that, to be honest, looks like it should be on SnowRunner. That's the sort of truck we're going to be driving around this circuit. Now, heavyweight vehicles have a checkered past, shall we say, around destruction circuits. Occasionally they can do okay, but there's so much weight going on that they tend to break themselves quite quickly. This, though, is a more off-road orientated truck. Now, whether that's going to be enough to survive around here, I don't know. It's quite ridiculous. It actually has got a good turn of pace, which is fun, as far as it's certainly not a slow truck to drive around here, but yeah, who knows what's going to happen with it. Oh, God, it might fall over a few times as well. That is a concern. Now, it will not be taking the spinners. Owing to its size, it doesn't really fit through there, much like we had with the bus. As the downside of this circuit is the spinners. To be enough of an obstacle for cars to ever have an impact, they have to be rather technical, and this is a very big vehicle. So, yeah, it doesn't really fit through there. We will bounce our way across. Jeez. Now, there is the alternate route that we can take. I mean, if it's really broken steering, it would actually struggle to get down this alternate path, because it's still a little bit narrow, but... yeah, it's going to avoid the spinner. So there will be a little asterisk next to the tyre, next to the distance ready for this, because it technically takes a slight alternate route. Anyway, we are past there, up towards the shafted jump for the first time. Now this thing, as I said, it can shift. It's up to 60 miles an hour, which is quite a lot of speed for 64 miles an hour. Quite a lot of speed for a truck like this. Oh, radiator has gone on it, so we might fall over. Ugh. It's quite softly sprung. Damage report? Not much, actually. I thought it might have bent the chassis, but it might have done a little bit. It might be a little bit of bananaing going on for the truck. It's something we'd have to watch out for because, as I said, yes, the chassis is much stronger on this than a normal vehicle that goes around here, but it also weighs an awful lot more. Okay, we're across Dover with no real problems. Concerns, I mean, we saw a little bit of the pre-runner bodywork snaring up the wheels. I mean, this thing's got monstrous tyres, so if the... oh, God. If a bit of bodywork falls down, we could see some trouble, I guess. Maybe. We're just going to bounce around. It looks pretty bad for this. It doesn't really seem to be doing all that much. It just bounces around so erratically on the landing of these jumps. It's actually quite quick across this jump here. Please don't... oh! It almost got into the top of the gauge. That would be a first. That would be a first if we managed to get something to hit the top of the start line gate. That's how bouncy this thing is. It's going to probably bounce. Yeah, it kind of pings its way along a bit randomly. There's some... maybe some bending, some damage gone on. Actually, it does look like... it looks like the back of the... ooh, don't fall over. It definitely looks like the back of the... it looks like it's bent in the middle, basically. So the back of the truck is higher. I'm trying to think of what to call the, like, box thing on the back. I've had a brain fart and don't know what to call it, like dump truck kind of bit. Anyway, that is definitely not sitting level anymore, which suggests a bent chassis somewhere in all of this. Can we get around the corner? It carries not bad speed for a big old truck. It's going to shake itself from the side. It does really look awful through there. Front left, front and right wheel looking... no, I think it's okay. I think it's just the angle it was at and the way it was bouncing across the terrain there. Alright, just the carousel. This is not going to really pose much problem. These bumps... the speed bumps mean nothing to the truck like this. Really the big problem areas are going to be shafted, this jump coming up, and the crescendo, that final jump. They're probably the two that are going to do the most damage to this. Barring anything weird occurring, basically. Oh, that landed quite heavily on the front. Oh, there's something going to take a chunk out of the back. Don't know what that is, but there's like a metal. I think it's like a metal plate or something. Missing half of it. It was there. I don't know what it does. Might be something to do with mechanics of the actual tipper bit, so it might not have any bearing on. Probably doesn't. Just noticing visual damage. Across Dover we go. Let's not forget here, the radiator is busted. It's not really gaining much temperature, so it might be a small fault on the radiator. Those happen sometimes. It's just a small leak and takes a while before the truck starts overheating. We'll keep going. Oh, that's the sort of crunch you don't want. You don't want all the weight coming crashing down on a single wheel. That is asking for trouble. If it's across all 6, it's not too bad. If it's across just 1, that's a lot of weight into one side of the vehicle. Oh, bits are flailing. What is that at the front that is coming off? It doesn't really drive quite right anymore. I think there's got a lot of weight moving around now at funny angles. What is that bit that's flapping up? I can't see what it is. I think it's a bit of the tipper part, maybe? Oh, no, it's fallen off. I was a bit of an exhaust, I think, that was going on there. We lost the exhaust. The tipper part is on the move. My steering's not quite right anymore. The exhaust is damaged, yes. Well, I can see them flapping around to the sides, so that probably should have happened earlier. Oh, and one's fallen off. Whoa, we nearly fell over. The chassis is definitely not right. It's got some interesting handling characteristics. Down a whole bunch of gears. I'm driving this like I do a Euro truck. You've had double shift. It's got many gears. And I mean, it's many gears and a decent amount of speed going on. So it makes it an interesting drive, that's for sure. Okay, across the bumps we head. This could be quite interesting. Oh, there's a gear that gives us some drive. 8th, that'll work. This could be quite interesting across that big jump. I'm a little concerned, I'm not going to lie. Quite a lot concerned, actually, about what this is going to do across the big jump. Oh, the engine. Oh no, the engine is overheating, I think. We might be. The temperature's not gone very high. The temperature gauge isn't showing as very high, but the engine is overheating. Oh, it's lost a wheel anyway. It's the whole back end's come off. Should still drive. It's still going to go. It's kind of a shame that we have lost the engine or the radiator. We're going to lose the engine before we see any further things with this truck. It has lost a wheel. I knew shafted was going to be an interesting one this time around, and sure enough, that is what has happened. Now, could it make it to the end of this lap? Possibly, probably should do. Before it overheats. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take to overheat. We do have to work it. We do end up working it relatively hard. Oh, okay. We've lost a drive. It doesn't really matter too much. We've still got enough drive to keep going. It's all falling apart on this lap. What's going to go first? Wheels or engine? I suspect the engine will blow up before something else goes. Oh, there we go. We're across. The rear wheels are not looking all that stable, I will say. Doesn't really drive very well anymore. God. It's even more horrific looking at it now when you can see all the workings is bouncing around. Okay, we're across there, no problem. It's still going. There's a lot of stuff shaking underneath the truck. What is that? The front that's hanging off. I mean, presumably it's nothing important, otherwise it would have affected it more. Looks like a metal rod is hanging off across the front. The drive shaft is moving around a lot. I feel surely that's going to snap at some point. Oh, we've lost a tyre. Oh, the front end is collapsing. We have problems. We have problems. Problems are occurring for our truck now. They've got more serious than they were. It's struggling with drive. Because that front corner's gone, it's not putting wheels on the floor properly. So it's now really struggling to drive itself. What gear do I want? This might actually be the first vehicle ever to fall foul of... Oh. The crawler ruled in as far as it's really incapable of driving itself at the moment. It's got to be able to clear 20 miles an hour within a reasonable space of time, and if anything, this is now grinding to a halt. I've locked all the diffs up. It should be... can I find any of these that are going to give me any sort of drive? I mean... no is the answer. Oh. Oh. Well, kind of. Playing around with the diffs has got it moving, but it's barely moving in this instance. It is hopping along. If I just go up the gears, can I find one that gets it working? Nope. Okay, that was a little ambitious through there. I think we're going to have another weird vehicle death. Is it going to be able to clear 20 miles an hour coming down here? Come on. Okay, it's got something. It's barely living. I think even if we keep it going, it's going to die going up the hill and will not make it. Much like we saw with the pre-runner, where it just can't climb the hill because the... Well, that thing got broken in a weird way. Come on, truck. You've got to do something. It is... Come on, find some pace. Oh, it doesn't really steer very well. We got clipped by the spinner. Come on. Oh, we've lost another tyre. That could actually be even worse for us now. We might be about to conk out. Or it might be better because it might put everything at least a level play, like a level ground, so we might get more power down. Come on, truck. It's going along very badly. How is the engine okay with this? I don't know. We're gonna blow the engine to pieces doing this, I think. But it's still going for now, barely. Can it make it up the hill? Come on, truck. You can maybe do this. Maybe. It might conk out. No, it's still good to go. Just. Can we still drive? Now we're on the dirt. It's the bare minimum of driving this. It really is on the cusp of being counted out. It has hit 20 miles an hour again. It is still doing it. Oh, I was so busy watching the wheels trying to make sure it was on the ground enough to keep moving that I didn't even pay any attention to the giant metal box, if you like, that was in the way. Definitely losing the other front wheel has been good for the truck. That has helped it out. It's sorted out the height issues basically and got it going again. We're up to almost 30 miles an hour here. We're going to blow the engine up doing it, but... Oh, okay. Across the jump. Across Dover we head. I'm amazed this is still going. It's a stubborn old truck, this. The thing is, at this state, while it is still just about going quick enough, I don't know if it's really going to do much more damage to itself. It's only if it gets stuck somewhere now. If it's unable to climb somewhere, or I don't know, gets caught on something, that's what's going to give it the biggest problems. Come on. We're back up to 20, 30 miles an hour across the... It is landing very heavily on... I mean, there's no tyres in the front anymore. There's nothing really protecting the front of the truck, so that's not ideal. It's not bouncing anymore. But also that's not really what you want. We struggle with steering quite a lot. The engine is not going to make another lap, I can tell you that much. I'm basically having to over-rev it just to keep it moving. Do we go up a gear? If I go to the wrong gear, if I'm in the wrong gear at the wrong time, it just dies. And if we do that at the wrong point, it could actually get completely stuck, I fear. Come on, truck. What is... I mean, we haven't really had any... I guess we've got it as a speed bumps without too many problems. I just think we haven't really had anything low with the tyres missing at the front. Is it going to tear something important off going over the checkerboard? Can it even get across the checkerboard in this current state? Into the water we head. That's fine. I've not really got much control over where it's going anymore. We just kind of foot down and hope. High clutch temperature. Yeah, the clutch isn't going to be enjoying this either. We could burn that out, to be honest with you. Nothing in the truck is enjoying life at the moment. Come on, we're still going. We're still going. We've actually now got it to a point where it is okay to carry on. Like, I can get enough momentum. I've figured out how to get it to stay moving. Just about. Over rev damage, yeah. It's I mean, I don't know how that got over rev damage, considering that was actually at the more sensible point. Oh, that is not drive-throughable. Clutch is going again. Come on. It might blow the clutch up. We have seen that. It's rare. It's very rare we see one of these blow a clutch up, but it is possible. We have seen it. I can't remember what it was that died that way. I don't know why the clutch is unhappy, but it is through all of that. Come on. Come on. Come on, truck. Do I want another gear yet? I don't really know. Maybe 13th. That works as a gear, I guess. We've got some wheel spin over there. We've got to keep up this momentum, because if it stalls out climbing up the hill, it will be in trouble. Okay, we're over the other side. The engine still lives for now. It's a damn tough engine, this. It is getting quite warm. Everything's hot. The truck's missing a wheel, it's got no tyres at the front, the drive is knackered, yet it continues to go on. Head gasket's damaged, that might be the end of the engine. If I can't get it to, no, anything with drive. That might actually kill the power to the point where I can't even do the 20 miles an hour required. We've had to spam it down the gears. Come on. Come on. The front wheel looks like it's taken all the fenders. Nope, it's still got speed, just. Yeah, it looks like the tyre's flailing at the fender, but it's not actually getting stuck anywhere, so that's good news for us. Come on. Oh, I think we've lost drive. That's it. Amazingly, it's a drive shaft failure. After all of that effort, all of that damage, all of the problems with that truck, it was what is the normal cause of death for one of the heavyweights, the drive shaft. It was just coming off that jump very, very badly. The engine's knackered, the wheels are gone, the chassis is completely buckled. I mean, look at the state of that. That was another damn impressive destruction run, I have to say. And finally, to run today, we have got the Pez coupe. It's essentially a Pessima, well, coupe, however, converted to rear-wheel drive. So, should be interesting, should be fun to drive, at least, this sort of vehicle. Survivability, I mean, drive shaft is the concern. The Pessimas have been awful around this track. All of the different ones have had their issues predominantly to do with drive, so the drive shaft is what I am concerned about in this. The front-wheel drive ones were knackered. This, I mean, theoretically might stand a slight better chance, because it doesn't land. I mean, front-wheel drive cars always suffer because you land on the front a lot. You know, your front wheels are doing everything. Still, we've seen a lot of issues for rear-wheel drive cars because this track kills the chassis, or bends the chassis, should we say, and that kills the drive shaft. So we'll have to wait and see how this one goes. Actually done pretty well over these first few obstacles. No real major problems. It's the shafted jump. That's when we're going to potentially see issues. That clonked its way through the Toblerones. Again, no real crazy harm done. Through the spinners we go. Again, no issues in that one. I mean, the speed bumps really don't affect it at all, which is good. I mean, there will, I have no doubt, if the car gets more and more damaged, those sort of things do tend... Ooh, don't fly like that. Preferably don't fly like that across this jump either. Here we go. Oh! I mean, I was right to be worried about it. I was right to be worried about it because pretty much what I feared came to pass on this one. That was a pretty good takeoff as well. There wasn't much more I could have done with that. Just as soon as it landed, there goes the drive. And it's another version of a Pessima that doesn't work around this track. Bugger. Not quite as spectacular as the other two. It's unfortunately a little expected. I just hoped it might have survived a couple of laps before that happened. Oh well, that's rather dead. So, we are on to our leaderboard, and the B-Series, the big truck, will go into 4th place. That is a very impressive run. It's a good distance for one of the heavyweights. Yes, it's a more off-road, I guess, orientated heavyweight than a normal truck or bus, for example. But still, that's a good showing, and it was a very, very spectacular run. So there is definitely some bonus points in that one. Still a fair way off the likes of the work van, but there we go. Now we have to go a little bit further down. Still a pretty good showing, actually, from the Celtia, I think actually is how it's pronounced, Gasser. Yeah, 26th place. It went out, I mean, the burn sides we saw have similar issues with that kind of wreck suspension going across the checkerboard. I mean, it was a lot of things were broken in that car. Much with the truck, a number of things could have killed the truck. A number of things were very badly broken in that Gasser by the time it got to the checkerboard on that one. And then we have Pessima corner down at the bottom of the table. The coupe doesn't go at the bottom, but it's not good. It's not good at all. Just all the Pessimas have ended up down here. They just cannot deal with this circuit. It's just too destructive for that particular car. They've done well at other circuits. There's just one here. This is just too much for it. Yeah, basically exactly the same place as the all-wheel steer, almost slightly further for the coupe, but we're only talking a few meters. And there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, I shall link all the mods used in the description so you can download them, have a go with them yourself. That, though, shall be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.